Hey guys, this is Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today is vlog 9 in my Tara Does Arizona hashtag Burning Sage series. And well, in this recap of last week, I got to go back to Tucson, and so you guys are going to be able to see lots of lovely pictures and video from that as well. But I have my list of happenings that went on last week just so I could keep myself on track, because it was actually a pretty busy week. There was a lot of fun stuff. So let's go ahead and start off with Tucson. So for the first time we went, it was Wednesday and then Friday, and then last week we went Wednesday, and then the show ends this week, I believe, on Friday. So we're gonna go again on Wednesday, and that'll be our last time, because as you guys know, I'm going to be opening up a witchy shop, but I'm keeping a little mum about it because I want to do a whole like grand opening thing. So I've been going back and forth and getting little goodies for that, but also picking up some goodies for myself, because like as I said before, I've never been to Tucson before, but now I've been like this 3 times. So this will be my 4th time, so that's cool. I mean, go back and hang out with more crystals. It's like not a bad thing. But anyway, let me show you what I picked up this past week on Wednesday, and then I think I'm just gonna like play some music and have you guys just have fun with all the energy coming through the video and the pictures. Okay, but for what I picked up in Tucson, first thing, check out this lithium quartz. This thing is awesome, like really awesome. But and the energy is soft but straightforward, and I've gotten so many things that I haven't really had a chance to like work to any sort of extent yet with just one, because it's like, ooh, like look at this and this, so so it'll just take time to like really like dive into each of these crystals. But so far, with this one, like I said, totally digging it. It's beautiful. Let me just give you some of that crystally goodness. And some of you guys were mentioning in the last vlog that you wanted to see some of the items that I got. I forgot to do that, but I did show those items during that week's live chat. So definitely check out the live chat that says Tucson on it, because I was showing off the cool labradorite witchy boots that I got and a lot of the crystals that I picked up. So definitely check that out. But here is the second dose of crystals, second week of crystals. Next, what I got is black moonstone sphere. Ooh, got the little flash for you guys. Beautiful. And I actually prefer working with black moonstone over like rainbow moonstone or white moonstone. I don't know, there's something about black moonstone that I just really adore. And I only have a couple of pieces, but now I have this piece too, so totally psyched. And then I have a thing for purple stones. I mean, my main thing is like blue stones, but I like some purples in there too. And so I picked up some this polished lepidolite. And that is something that I do have quite a bit of lepidolite actually, and I have some earrings that are made out of it. So it is a crystal that I'm familiar with, and I do love the energy. I think it's high vibing in a, I don't know, like 80s cool kind of way. I don't know, just got some 80s vibes from it. I don't know, maybe that's just how my body interprets it. But yeah, so there's my lepidolite, and then I picked up this little guy. He was just looking at me. He was like, take me home because I'm going to be like guarding your apartment. So his name is Henry, and that's what I got from him. And he is known as African jade, but it's veridite. And it's just a beautiful green stone. But yeah, Henry says hello. Henry's been hanging on top of a piece of fluorite that I got, and I've never seen fluorite look like this, but check this out. It's actually, I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but it's yellow. You can see kind of the yellow on the bottom. I don't know, just something about it. Henry likes to chill on top, so whatever, Henry gets his fluorite. And I really need to sit down with this, because I know that there's a lot going on here. I just, like I said, I've got all these new little crystal friends, and you know, I got to give them each their due attention, right? So when I get into this one, you know, or into any of these, I will definitely let you guys know. And the next one is this cool little crystal scully. He's actually chrysocolla. You can see chrysocolla and malachite in there. But he's happy, he's cool. Haven't gotten to tap into him too much, so I don't have a name or anything, but you know, we'll see. I don't know. And I love that it's like he's not super smooth. Like, I mean, he's smooth, but he's like irregular. I really like that about him. So, irregular like me. Let's see, what else do we have? Ooh, then I went over to this like little side place, because we went back to a few of the places that we went to before the first week. And then we went to a couple, you know, other places like the bigger shows and stuff like that. And so there was this one place in one of the big hotels that had copper. They had some other things, but it was mostly a lot of copper. So I found this awesome copper bowl that I'm actually using as an offerings bowl on my altar. I don't want to burn anything in it, you know, because it's just, I don't know, the sheen of the copper just looks really cool, and I don't want to mess that up. So I'm just going to use it for like herbs and crystals and, you know, other little intentions, you know. So yeah, super excited about my copper bowl. And then you guys, so when I went to the show the week before, you know, on Friday, I went to this like little like Tibetan booth, and it had this like really nice husband and wife duo. And I came across this object that I was immediately just drawn to. And I did like a Google search, try to learn about like what this item is used for and everything, you know, because it is a spiritual tool, and you know, you want to be respectful of that. And so what the guy was asking for was like way out of my price range, and like didn't have that kind of cash on me. So I was like, okay, I'll think about it. You know, you walk away and then like you never come back. But anyway, we did come back. Not the very next day like the cat, but we came back on Wednesday of the following week, and the guy remembered us, and he was like, you're very, you know, stuck on this, and I can see that you like it very much, and that, you know, it seems to be very connected to you. So he came down to just about half the price, because I was like, listen, sir, this is really all the money that I have on me and the cash that I have on me. And he was happy to do it for that price. So it was basically almost half of what he was asking for. And he came over to confirm with his wife, and they were actually like super happy. They were like, yay, like it was like, you could see they were genuinely happy, not just like, woohoo, we made a sale, but genuinely happy that this object was going to somebody who it really connected with, not just somebody who's like, thought it looked cool or interesting, you know. And he was trying his best to talk a little bit about it. He even tried to play it, because it is a type of horn, but it's called a kang ling. And so kang meaning leg, and then ling meaning flute, so leg flute. So here it is. He said that this is about 80 years old, because he does his shopping at auctions and you know, antique auctions. And he said it was roughly 80 years old, and that in India they do not let these get released anymore because of you know, what it's kind of turned into, because these are spiritual tools, these calm things, and depending on the death of the person depends on how you use it in ceremony. And so because there was a market for this, grave robbers showed up. So people started, you know, finding ways to acquire bones that were illegal, you know, not in ways that were for, you know, the practice of the people that use these. So India stopped, you know, exporting them, you know, like, let's not make this a black market or anything like that. And so they started just making things out of like metal or fake bone, wood, you know, things like that. But so they said it's very rare to get one that's an actual human bone, because again, they stopped making them a while ago in order to deter these grave robbers. So this, like I said, actual human femur, they do cut it down, you know, so that it could be held well. I already get like dizzy vibes using it, but the energy attached to this one, I did connect to the person who this belonged to. And he said it was just easiest for me to call him Malcolm, so I call him Malcolm. And he did show me in the way in which he passed, and how he would like me to use it, like what his expertise is, what his job is, which is basically to find spirits, spirits that may be harder for me to connect with. Sometimes when I, do my mediumship readings, it's harder to connect to certain spirits. Like I can connect to them, if they come in, but sometimes their energy is faint. And so what he would like to help with is, if he could bring them in more fully, I could make a stronger connection, and thus I can, give a better messages or stronger messages to the person that I'm reading for. He says that he's able to go up to certain levels, and he's able to go down to certain lower levels in order to retrieve human spirits. He says, once that we're here on the earthly plane. So I want to work more with that. I think that's super interesting. And depending on how this is made, it's made for certain purposes. Like I said, depending on how the person passed away, but also the, if there's metal on it, at the ends or not, if there's any sort of, beauty that they've adorned, the femur with, also depends on how it was used. Can it be played? It doesn't sound that great because I think it needs a little help. It's pretty old, so I'm pretty sure it's a horn, so it may need some wax or something on the inside to just kind of like bring that sound back. It's not supposed to sound pretty, by the way. It's not a pretty sounding horn. But anyway, in its state that it's in, it's even a less pretty sounding horn. But I didn't get it so that I could play the horn. I did it for my mediumship work that I do. So this was kind of like the big deal of the show. Okay, so on with the video and pictures for you guys. Okay, then on Friday, so Friday of last week on the 16th, got to go to the Salt River. So I went with James, over at Light of Rega, you guys know him, and we were playing in the water a little bit. We didn't have any like water shoes because it's very pebbly, hence it's called Pebble Beach. But it's very pebbly, so may want to have some water shoes next time. I think I'll just use my wetsuit booties that I have because I used to surf Old Man's up in Orange County, and that was like also very rocky and pebbly. So I think next time we go to the river, I'm gonna have something like that. But the water was quite cool because I mean it's the Colorado River, and it's coming out of the mountains, so it's cold. But after a while, it felt really nice, and that's probably because my legs and arms were numb. But it still felt nice anyway. And I'm all about hydrotherapy, so I think that it did some good stuff for my legs. And it's got a little bit of salt in it, just due to the trees that line the banks, just because they bring up, their roots bring up salt. They're native trees, but they bring up some salt, and some of their leaves fall. They add a hint of salt to the Salt River. And so while we were walking around afterwards, after soaking up some sun and soaking up a little bit of, water energy, lake energy, no, river energy, and collecting crystals and seashells. Yes, there were seashells. We ran into a couple of javelinas. So they're a type of wild pig. And I just remember like, what am I looking at? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like nudging James, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a wild pig. So yeah, we looked them up real quick, and yeah, they were a couple of javelinas. They seemed to be very unimpressed by us, so they just left. Because they were in the middle of eating. I think they realized we didn't have any food, nor could we even help them find food. We just didn't look like a couple of people they wanted to hang out with, so they just left. But anyway, we were walking around, saw a lot of horse poop. Why? Because there are wild horses in the area, and I was hoping that I'd be able to see some, but I didn't see any wild horses because apparently they come out kind of after sunset or right at sunset, which is when the park closes. So it's like sun up to sundown, and hence I guess that's when the horsies want to come out. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And then also I talked about getting garnierite the very first week we went to Tucson, and so I ended up putting that on this like really cool staff or stick, long branch that I found. Well, now it's my witchy staff. Anyway, James is really good with like attaching crystals to things because he makes wands and he's sold wands in his shop. But anyway, so I have attached it to this staff. I adorned it with like, some leather wrapping that I put on there. I added some like other little crystals, some grounding crystals, some high vibing crystals. So this thing is the bomb diggity, and I can't wait to I think I've already taken it for a short walk in the complex, but I want to take it out for some real walking. So stay tuned on that. And then this past Saturday, we went and ate Cornish pasties, which I didn't even know what those were, but they are kind of like, I guess, like a giant empanada or a giant calzone. And so it's basically got like meat and cheese and other stuff in it. And it's all encased in a dough that's been, baked, and it is delicious. I thought it was really good, but I love carbs. I love bready stuff. So anything that you can encase in bread, I'm happy with. So anyway, that was a lot of fun because James, like I said, Light of Riga, his folks were in town, so got to go have some lovely food with them, and plus his dad is English, so pasties are like from England, so they're really good. And I encourage you guys, if you come across them, to try them out. They're delicious. So anyway, we went with them on Sunday to just kind of like drive around. We were just like driving around to all these different places. Like we went to Double Butte Cemetery. I finally found Double Butte, which is on the other side of the mountain of Twin Butte. Remember that other cemetery I was showing you where it was kind of like the forgotten cemetery? Well, Double Butte is much bigger. It's like the historical cemetery of, and it's, the energy was intense because there were a lot of spirits that wanted to do some talking. It was intense, we'll just say that. But anyway, so we also went to Hole in the Rock. I've showed video of that before, and I've been there before, but we took his parents there, and then we were just kind of meandering, and then we were just driving around for just looking for something, you know? And so we ended up going out to Apache Junction, kind of off the 88 there, and we ran into the Goldfield Ghost Town. And it's an actual like legit ghost town from like 1888 or something like that, if I remember correctly. So I got a lot of video and some pictures of that. So well, let's just show you guys. Afterwards, we had some dinner. We went to a place called Thai Spices because James and his family love Thai. I have difficulty with spice, but I tried it was like shrimp and yellow curry, and then we had this really cool like soup at the very beginning. but you know, I was like getting full rather quickly. But anyway, so yeah, it was apparently, according to them, like a legit Thai place. So if you're in Mesa, Arizona, and you want some legit Thai, I heard from them that it's like really like where they make the spices on point. So check it out. But yeah, so that's it. That's my week. Like I said, there was a lot going on. Lots of goodies now that I get to work with. And of course I have my witchy staff to work with, and oh my goodness. But anyway, I'm enjoying this vlog series. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too. Just kind of on this little adventure with me. And yeah, so I guess I'll catch you guys next week. You're gonna have one more like day of Tucson, because we're going this Wednesday. So that'll be in next week's vlog. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. So if you dug this vlog, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweetsandtarot.com. I have a lot of my other links down below for my Etsy shop with things that I make. I have my newsletter, I have my Patreon. Oh, and I also have my Leon Mystery School, where I teach Mayan astrology. If you are interested, I am the headmistress of Leon Mystery School. So yeah, definitely check that out, and I will catch you spiritual homies later. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.